Mulabnaka, my name is Amenambanobe. It's my pleasure today to share with you my knowledge on the production of quality seeds following the standard operating procedure. In this standard operating procedure, the first process involves your planning. It is very, very important that you carry out a good site selection in the field in which you determine the place you are going to set up your seed block. Keeping in mind that while doing your planning, that you should source your agro inputs, ensure that all the agro inputs are in place, and also ensure that your soil is tested. This will assist you in determining the type of fertilizer that you are going to add onto your field. Part of this planning process is the procurement of your foundation seeds. Foundation seeds, these are very important in the standard operating procedure because they are the true to type seeds. They show the true characteristic of that particular variety that you are trying to establish. So you can source your foundation seeds from your local research stations, and once you have your foundation seed, we'll move on into the next step is on the raising of our seedlings. Please ensure that you have a raised seed bed where you will going to raise your seeds, and seeds are sown thinly onto your seed bed while the seeds are growing. Ensure that they are watered frequently, and also you can carry out your pest and disease control right there on the seed bed. In case you don't have a seed bed provided, you can use a potting trays for raising your seedlings. While you are raising your seedlings, in the meantime you can carry on with an important step also in the standard operating procedure is on the land preparation. It is recommended that we do 2 plowing and 2 harrowing. So after the first plowing and harrowing, normally we apply poultry manure into the field, and then followed by the second plowing and harrowing, after which the best soil tilth will be provided for transplanting your seedlings. So next in this standard operating procedure is on the transplanting of your seedlings. You can transplant your seedlings late in the afternoon, or if the weather is cloudy, you can go ahead with the transplanting of those seedlings. And while transplanting your crops into the field, please ensure that they are planted at the correct spacing. For example, for tomato and chilies, the correct spacing would be around 1 meter between rows and 50 centimeters between plants. And part of the transplanting is the agronomic practices that needs to be followed. This involves the use of fertilizers. NPK at the rate of 200 kg per hectare is applied during planting. And this is followed by the use of urea fertilizer, the recommended rate of 100 kg per hectare in split application, especially after 4 to 5 weeks after planting. Ensure that you also visit your fields occasionally to check on the soil, and also ensure that irrigation is carried out when required. An important phase in the standard operating procedure is the isolation distance of your seed bed. Please ensure that your seed bed is far away from the next crop variety of the same plant. For example, for tomato, your seed bed should be 60 meters away from the next tomato variety. This is to prevent cross-pollination, since the crop that you are establishing on a field is an open pollinated variety. While the crops are growing out there in the field, ensure that you carry out your management practices like the pest and disease control. Please ensure that you check on the pest level occasionally so that you can carry out your pest and disease control measures. An important part in the standard operating procedure too is on the rogging and selection. Rogging is the removal of diseased plants from the field, or those that don't show the true characteristic of the plant or the seed that you're trying to produce. So once they are removed, you have your well-established crop out there in the field. The important thing is to maintain them in the field with good management practices. So the crops will show that they are ready for harvest when they reach physiological maturity. A good example is eggplant. Once the color of the fruit changes yellowish, that's a good indication that the seeds inside these fruits have matured and that they are ready for seed extraction.